Okay. Thank you very much for the invitation. Our Chilean data was described in the book that Silvina and Lilian are going to comment in the next hours. I'm going to show you that was named The Wave, Storm, and the Feminist Tsunami, the Gender Revolution in Chile. That was the last year. In this talk, I'm going to show you the first time the historic female waves in Chile, 100 years from the 1980s, that where they start, different waves, and how Chilean was respond to global changes. After that, I'm going to show you the implication of the feminist tsunami the last year at government, university, and national society in science levels. And finally, I'm going to look into the future, talking about the woman empowerment in Chile and the initiative for the gender equality in STEM. The first time is the historic. Yeah? Well, we have 100 years that the woman grouped and made changes to different goals. The first one was the women's suffrage and equality. That was the main goal. The first aggregation was in 1918, the Consejo Nacional de Mujeres. They grouped to get equality, and many other political groups were started, like a Partido Cívico Femenino, Unión Femenina de Chile. But in 1931, it was the first association of the university woman. That was the first key or first step by the STEM woman. Most of them are from the health area, but start to communicate it and change the mind about the woman. In those times, only men, or chemical and physics was only for men in the school, and women only work with the homeworks. After that, the woman was in the Comité Pro Derechos de la Mujer, and in Movimiento Pro Emancipación Mujeres de Chile, that was very strong movement that strike in this time. And the Federación Chilena de Institución Feministas FECHIF. And during the 1949, it was the universal female suffrage during the President Gonzalez Videla that was incorporated during along the Chilean countries. And in 1952, it was the first presidential votation where the woman participated. However, after that, it was a dissolution of these groups because they have many differences about the political and level of societies. This was the votation, and after 3 years, the Chilean women vote during this time with the president-elect Carlos Ibáñez del Campo, and Chile was the 10th Latin American country with women suffrage. This was very strong, the dissolution of these groups in 1953, and many things or many changes was around the world after the war. And for example, in Europe and United States, it was incorporated the oral contraceptive pills, the Women's Strike for Peace, and Equal Pay Act. But Chilean woman, and this is for this case is in gray, was in silence. Yeah. There are many years that Chilean woman was in silence, but a difficult event that in 1973 that the Chilean coup d'etat, a military government take the power, and the woman groups to democracy find many people or parents that died during the military movement, and many women was in charge of the family because many men died. Then they start many different international changes, health and family planning, Women's Education Equity Act, but the goal for the Chilean woman was return to democracy. That was the women's strike for democracy, but they usually take care with your face because the military system was very strong with this kind of woman. And this is during the military government in 1977, ONU created the International Women's Day. And in this point, women created in Chile the Asociación para la Unidad de las Mujeres with different acronyms. And then the Círculo de Estudios de las Mujeres, Comité de Derechos de las Mujeres, and Movimiento Mujeres, including the different ethnical society. But it was the Centro de Estudios de las Mujeres, la Casa de la Mujer Morada, in MEMT 83, that was the more power and fight to return to democracy. After that, they moved to, in 1988, to the plebiscite that say no to the military government that was moved for many women. And then they have the power, and during the 1989, they celebrate the first International Day of the Woman in el Estadio Santa Laura with a very big meeting. During the 1990s, we returned to democracy with Presidente Elwin, and many women that was exiled returned to Chile, and most of them were in STEM areas. During the first period of the democracy, the government created the Servicio Nacional de la Mujer. It's a special area to help a different woman. In this case, the political society was in call, but there come new differences against the woman. That it was the violence. And during the 20 years, that was created the Red Chilena contra la Violencia that moved to change this kind of the problem, and then the movement to elect the first woman president. The government of Bachelet then was elected by a woman that moved by this, and she centered the government in the gender equality that it's maintained until that. The main changes was the equality in the cabinet, a pension system for reform with benefits for woman owners, expanded child care network for the poorest sector that the woman can go to work, and introduced the distribution of the emergency contraception because Chile was a majority Catholic country. This was a very good time, but during the 2015 in Argentina was the first step against the violence. They made a very big strike, namely Not One Less and Ni Una Menos, that was followed by different Latin American countries. Exactly the same years, it was a meeting of the women in science in Chile, and this was the namely tsunami that only during a few months compared to another different changes. It started during the 2080s. The first in April, the first university was Universidad Austral de Chile in the Faculty of Anthropology that they were strike because some teachers abuse from the students. And the people in church don't move the professor. That was the first step. Every day after, the science department from the same university, then the Universidad de Chile in the law school, but added many different departments, then the Universidad Andrés Bello, the Pontificia Universidad Católica del Paraíso, that was Catholic university, the Pontificia Universidad Católica that never have strike, and finally 20 university added to this strike only in 2 months, and this was normally the Feminist May, that during 100 to 120 days. After that, this university strike that was very different from another tsunami or movement was followed by the actress, and they created the network of the Chilean actors against the violence again. And at the end of the year, they convoked to the plurinational meeting of women who fight to try to do more changes against the violence. This was a very big convocation. More than 900 women was meeting in the university. They talk about very different kind of things. This was the more relevant 11 points, but the most relevant in terms of the woman was the male violence in the communication media, the right to access for the free abortion treatment. It was the last year, and we don't have a free abortion treatment. The migration, women's in defense of the land, the territory, our body, our spirit, and non-sexist public education related to the university and lower school. The implication was that the president in this time on, and actually Piñera, take 12 changes to promote the balances in the general. The most important was at constitutional level, change to safeguard equal rights, law to regulate harassment in universities, promote the participation of women in senior positions, law project to punish gender violence in dating relationship at this level, and allegation of abuse in the political area, creation of law against street sexual harassment on the subway, on many common laws, and increase of control in public transportation too. And obviously the equality in health and work. We have very differences in terms of maternity with the social, I don't know the SAPRE, the social medical health that the woman not have maternity in some cases. And it was the equality to health and work. This is, the minister changed the name to the Ministerio de la Mujer and Equity and Balance of Genders. They convoke to participation in the politics. They promote the maternity plans, and they have a phone number for orientation for the harassment. And finally, they stimulate the scientific in science and knowledge that only 5% of the women work in the technology. For example, this was the first video to promote this kind.
A María le gusta la física, pero ninguna de sus amigas quiere estudiar eso. Le gusta resolver problemas, pero en su familia le dicen que mejor estudie otra cosa. Quiere cambiar el mundo a través de la física, dejar su huella y, ¿por qué no?, llegar a la luna. Pero conoce a pocas mujeres que lo hayan hecho. La física no es de hombres ni de mujeres, es física. Si siempre has soñado con estudiar ciencias, tecnología, ingeniería o matemáticas, hazlo y cambia el mundo con tus ideas. Más mujeres en ciencias. Chile lo hacemos todos. Gobierno de Chile.
Okay, in terms of the university, I'm going to speak about my university, Universidad de Chile. They created the Office of the Direction de Igualdad and Gender, implemented and improved the action protocols in the case of harassment, generated dissemination of these issues to all the university community, and implemented prevention campaigns like La Chile, this Universidad de Chile, dice no to sexual harassment, changed the educational model to include the gender perspective, and made many meetings with the ONU women and to change the direction and try to balance the ambiente. In terms of the faculty, this is my faculty of science, We convoked to the 3-star world tables, combining student, academic, and non-academic officials. We talk about the harassment and many different things, and we construct or build protocols of coexistence that need to be signed by all the staff before to show the program in the career. Recognition of women in science, putting names in classroom and scholarships, and made many courses in sexual harassment prevention by all the staff, men, women, students, many things. And we did the International Meeting for Scientists of Women that was grouped all my colleagues in a very big meeting that invite a very woman student from 10 to 15 schools that ask us what you can do that, because all the opinion is that Marie Curie that is a very old woman in science, and we are very different with different kind of colors and societies. After that, in terms of the National Society, in terms of the biological science, I assumed like a president of the Sociedad Chilena de Evolución, and I try to maintain the balance in this society, and we resume or translate or combine different protocols for the equality and balance during the meeting, because the university have protocols, the faculty have protocols, but during the meeting it's very difficult to try to do something. Then we sent to another society, Sociedad Chilena de Biología, Sociedad Chilena de Ecología, and Sociedad Chilena de Botánica, and to do a transversal protocols. Then it was incorporated in the joint meeting, and this is the Código de Conducta para las participantes de la próxima reunión anual conjunta. And before you apply your abstract, you need to say, I agree with these protocols. That was very interesting, and many other societies are going to incorporate these changes. In terms of mathematics, they are more advanced than in natural science. They have the Mujeres Latinoamericanas, Mujeres Matemáticas en Latinoamérica. This was the second meeting in January in Chile. And actually, they have a research in Anillo, Matemática y Género, try to change or incorporate the gender in this kind of area. But look into the future. Now it's our turn to build. We know that women in Chile is empowerment. All the newspapers say that, and most of the people speak and write about the Mayo Feminista, la reunión contra el patriarcado, and this is the very big picture, because all the strike was with the boobies, because the woman said, this is my boobie, I'm going to show, or I'm going to do whatever I want. And this was the very big feminist general strike. The name was the 8M. It was this year. And many women was in the Plaza Italia and walked to the government palace, the Moneda, to say that against the violence. And this is the international Well, in STEM, there are different promotion. We know that in STEM, the data during the 2018 was that only the 30% was in the Mathematica and Physica. We know that in higher education, 53% of the enrollment correspond to women, but this data is reduced during the different steps. For example, 25% of STEM enrollment are women, then it's reduced, only 5% of women work in technology areas, and only 3 careers with hyper participation of the woman, but with minor salary than men. It's the basic education, nursery education, and nursing in the health science. To this, we know that we need to change this, and different groups incorporate the websites. And for example, this is the Red de Investigadoras, the Association of Women in STEM, that work together. And this is the Chile Científico. It's a diffusion web page, try to diffuse the science with gender equality. In the same part now, today, and the Chilean first woman platform at STEM, we have data, but this is the new vision of the data in application science. And if we can summary, we know that the gender revolution in Chile have many different implications. I ask or speak with different in charge of the Pedagogía in the Universidad of Chile, and we conclude that we have a similar pattern that just today described. We know and understand the gender gap. We know the numbers, we know the statistics and indicators. We try to introduce the best practice. For example, law about equality, new vacancies in many universities, and stimulated to select STEM career. But the women in STEM still having a bad time. This is not a change today. And I don't know who is the translation, but it's supposed that machismo is the first trick that maintain a woman having bad time. And Joanna say that we need to eliminate the mental structure of machismo at institutional, cultural, and society level. We need to structural change in the institution, for example, university, and increase diversity, similar to just described. And we need to show STEM women to children to change the future. And I'm going to finish my presentation. This is the science invitation. It was made by Instituto de Ecología y Biodiversidad, that was led by Universidad of Chile. That was created for the 8 March.
Te necesitamos.
La brecha de género en la ciencia y tecnología es un problema a nivel mundial.
¿Sabías que a partir de los 6 años las niñas comienzan a concebirse como menos inteligentes que los niños en áreas como las matemáticas?
Esta fue la conclusión de un estudio publicado en 2017 en la revista Science.
La autopercepción, marcada por los estereotipos de género, podría influir en los intereses en la infancia
y en las decisiones educativas de las niñas a largo plazo.
Los hombres y las mujeres tenemos diferencias, pero eso no quiere decir que no podemos aportar a las ciencias.
Pero esto va más allá.
Según cifras de la UNESCO, en Chile solo el 32% de la participación en ciencia y tecnología es protagonizada por mujeres.
Además, solo un 27% lidera proyectos Fondesit y Fonde,
mientras que un 16% dirige centros de investigación.
Esto tiene que cambiar.
Impulsa la igualdad de oportunidades y la participación efectiva de las niñas y las mujeres en la ciencia, tecnología, ingeniería y matemáticas.
¿Tienes una hija o hermana?
Entrégale actividades o regalos que fomentan la indagación, experimentación y la creatividad.
¿Eres científica o te gusta la ciencia? Divulga, conviértete en un ejemplo a seguir. Somos inteligentes, fuertes y capaces de lograr todo lo que queramos.
Enfrenta y denuncia casos de acoso y abuso sexual y laboral.
La familia es importante y más aún la crianza compartida. No queremos que una científica abandone su carrera por no recibir apoyo al momento de ser madre.
Todas y todos somos bienvenidos a hacer ciencia. La diversidad
de personas enriquece y amplía el conocimiento.
Soy Olga Barbosa y trabajo en ecología ecosistémica.
Me llamo Natalia Villavicencio, soy paleontóloga y estudio megafauna extinta.
Soy Paulina Sánchez y trabajo en invasiones biológicas.
Soy Constanza Napolitano y trabajo en conservación de felinos nativos.
Soy Claudia Maturana e investigo evolución de invertebrados en aguas continentales de Antártica y Patagonia.
Me llamo Karina Godoy y soy ingeniera en conservación de recursos naturales.
Soy Elke Schüttler y trabajo en la conservación de la Reserva de Biosfera Cabo de Hornos.
Soy Andrea Loaiza e investigo las interacciones entre plantas y animales.
Soy Mary Cani Nadorio y tengo el honor de haber recibido el Premio Nacional de Ciencias del año 2010.
Te necesitamos. Juégatela por una ciencia y una sociedad más justa.
Thank you very much.
Te necesitamos.
Thank you, Alejandra, for a very nice talk.
Hola, Alejandra. Felicidades por tu charla. Soy bióloga también, de Argentina. Y la semana que viene estoy por participar de la reunión científica de herpetología argentina y con unas colegas estábamos tratando de presentar en la asamblea de nuestra sociedad un primer borrador de un protocolo para que se lleve a cabo en la sociedad en general, incluyendo también las reuniones científicas. Quería saber si no me acuerdo cómo le llamaste vos, como guía de conducta, está disponible como para tomarlo como modelo para replicarlo nosotras. También un comentario, me pareció muy interesante esta propuesta tuya de que las guías de conducta, los protocolos sean transversales de distintas sociedades. Eso también, bueno, felicidades por eso, felicitaciones. Y bueno, ahora sí decime dónde puedo obtener entonces el protocolo.
Spanish or English? I don't know. We have the protocols. I don't know if it's in the website because after you upload your abstract, you need to say agree. But I can share with you the Word file. Yes, that is the idea. That's a transversal program, not very specific for different language or scientific meeting.
Hi, here. Congratulations on your talk. I think it was very interesting. I am from Chile, but I've been out of Chile for 12 years already, so it's interesting to see how it has evolved in the last decade or so. I somehow was uncomfortable with the last video that you showed because it gives the impression that the responsibility of bringing more girls to science is resting solely on our efforts to be role models, to be mentors, to call other girls and so. But like they say here in Brazil, o buraco mais embaixo. There is a problem that's in the system, that is in the society, to be able to allow girls to imagine themselves as scientists, right? Like, if you like science, go ahead and do science. But they are teenagers and they are afraid of being labeled as nerds or being less popular or whatever, or being less feminine, or having to assume that you have to dress in a certain way and that you cannot be, I don't know, interested in fashion at the same time as you're interested in science and things like that. So the conversation has to be in the two fronts, I guess. That it's not only, okay, give a science kit to your niece, but also don't forget to mention that there are a variety of women in science, and they're not all in the stereotypes, right? Like, break stereotypes is I think the most important message there. Don't you think?
Yes, I think so, but the socialization or the diffusion to increase the woman in STEM in the college was only from women. The men don't have nothing. No, it's not their business. Yes, and it's very difficult to incorporate changes in the university, in the faculty. That was we have laws, we have many protocols, but we need to change the mind. That's the point.
Sí, en español.
Okay.
Hola, soy peruana. Te agradezco por lo compartido ahora. Todavía estoy un poco en shock. Perú todavía está muy, muy abajo. Tenemos unas organizaciones interesantes, pero nos falta mucho. Lo que sí nos parece que nos tiene que unir es también las minorías, o sea, la mujer indígena también. O sea, no la estamos mirando. Yo recuerdo en mi facultad, indígena no ha habido. Entonces, es una problemática, así como en Brasil, y lo he vivido en esta reunión. Ve mucho a la mujer negra y la tiene que visibilizar y están trabajando. Nosotros que somos de una misma región, la mujer indígena no la estamos mirando. Y nos compartió nuestra compañera mexicana. Hay un alto índice de analfabetismo que no termina la escuela. Entonces, ¿qué piensas tú sobre eso?
I'm going to speak in Spanish because it's more easy to me. En Chile, el analfabetismo está controlado por la ley y todos los niños tienen que ir al colegio y si no, se los llevan presos a los padres. Entonces, en ese sentido, tenemos nivelado el alfabetismo. Y en términos de becas e incorporación a la mujer indígena, han incrementado el número de becas en donde ellas no necesitan tener un buen rendimiento en la prueba, tenemos una prueba de ingreso a la universidad, no necesitan tener eso y tienen scholarships. Pero una vez que entran, no se la hacen fácil y le apuntan con el dedo y le dicen, tú entraste por esta beca, entonces la miras menos. Al final se van porque no se sienten bien. Por eso te digo que en Chile por lo menos tenemos los cambios, está entre comillas hacer buenas prácticas, pero la mentalidad no permite que estos cambios sean incorporados de buena manera. ¿Sí?
Hi. Congratulations on your talk. I'm really glad to see these many actions in Chile. This is very nice. And I entirely agree with you that we should start much earlier. I agree with you that we should start with toys at early age. I just mentioned the same thing yesterday. We have to stimulate the girls and, make them think from the early age. So I think this is very important. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to speak here about another initiative that we have related to high energy physics. I heard about the meeting too late, and Oh, good. Okay, good, excellent. Okay, so she would talk about these initiatives that's an initiative that is connected to CERN, which is called Masterclasses, and we have been organizing an event for girls. There are normal events where you have mixed audience, but there is this particular case where probably Constanza is going to mention that you have girls, and we have been organizing this. This is after the decision by United Nations to create the International Day of Women in Science. This is the February 11th, and we organized the first meeting together with this international outreach, particle physics outreach group, and the first was 2017, 18, and 19, and we managed to gather last year more than 80 girls. So, and we organize in a shape that we not only make this event, as in the regular events. Daniela also participates every year with us. It's not only high energy physics, we invite other fields, related fields to come. And we also organize some round tables. So some of them are through the internet, as Daniela presented. So we have scientists all over the world participating and giving their trying to inspire the girls, right? Trying to make them aware of the difficulties and the inspirations they had along life so that they reached that point. And then we also have usually at least one presence, a round table in the presence of scientists and the audience. So it's really very, very nice. And this coming year, we already have booked this auditorium for February 10th and 11th, so you're invited. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hola, soy Valesca, soy chilena. Muchas gracias por tu charla y en verdad me es muy cercano todo esto del movimiento feminista. Y bueno, estudié en la facultad de... perdón, hablo rápido. Estudié en la facultad de ciencias, así que en Gomendilla, así que sé todo lo que se ha significado el movimiento. Quería compartir con ustedes mi historia. Yo partí haciendo ciencia a los 12 años, haciendo investigación científica escolar en Copiapó, de hecho, me inspiró mi profesora. Y después hice mucha investigación de ciencia escolar y viajé mucho y me abrió el mundo a hacer ciencia desde niña. Y en tercero medio, cuando realicé una investigación con cuyos resultados una empresa me dio la oportunidad para financiar mi trabajo y lanzar un software educativo para niños. Ese software tuvo un premio en el 2014 por Premio Nacional de Educación Científica. Y bueno, seguí haciendo ciencia y después entré a estudiar física y he hecho muchas charlas de divulgación y también sigo investigando. Y de hecho, una de las imágenes de mi experimento el año pasado fue distinguida por la Royal Society de Londres y hoy en día esa imagen es la portada de una banda de rock psicodélico en Chile. En Paisaje Sónico. Es súper loco como uno haciendo ciencia termina en otras cosas, porque igual la ciencia es transversal a todo. Y bueno, y todo este como transcurso de historia de mi vida, hace un mes recibí el premio Chilena Joven del Año. Fue un premio en el cual todos los chilenos votaron y en verdad, bueno, nunca me esperé recibir ese reconocimiento y quiere decir que en Chile sí están habiendo cambios de que se está valorando más la ciencia, se está valorando más la participación de mujeres en ciencia, pero aún así, este mes igual me ha tocado enfrentar discriminación o comentarios machistas, porque ya no es solamente que se busca visibilizar a la mujer en ciencia, mostrar que nosotros podemos inspirar a niñas, también, no sé, me ha tocado vivir, por ejemplo, que gente en las redes sociales ha puesto, le dieron el premio Chilena Joven por ser mujer y por ser simpática, así como desmereciendo completamente una carrera que llevo desde hace más años. Y en verdad es como que ya no solamente necesitamos visibilizar, ¿no?, como mujeres en ciencia, sino que también mostrar que los reconocimientos que obtenemos, la visibilización que tenemos es por nuestros propios méritos y no por ser mujer o por ser simpática como algunos machitos dicen por ahí. Entonces, eso quería compartir.
Thanks very much. That is the point. Sorry. Actually, the men say, all the women, I'm going to fund to grant some many things. The balance is for the woman today. That's not the real.
Hola, yo también soy de Chile. Quería preguntar sobre, bueno, porque me llamó harto la atención de lo que presentaste, que debido a todo esto del movimiento feminista en Chile, se han abierto varios eventos a nivel nacional convocando participación solamente de mujeres, pero yo me he encontrado mucho con, a niveles más pequeños, de tratar de organizar eventos solo para mujeres y que encontramos muchos problemas para hacerlo, por ejemplo, a nivel de facultad, universitario también. Hay mucha oposición a poder llevar a cabo estos eventos donde solo participan mujeres. Y quería saber si tú también has sentido eso o en otras universidades, si sabes de que hay casos así o que eso es más fácil hacerlo, o también, bueno, preguntar a las mujeres de otros países cómo es la cosa con eventos que no son tan grandes como a nivel nacional, pero sí a nivel como más pequeño.
Yes, it's very difficult. My name is the crazy Alejandra, because I'm the president of the Sociedad of the Evolution, and I move all this movement conduct to the national societies. And at this level, with the PhD level in knowledge, and the men try to not to do something. And for example, when we created the protocols, it's not created, we summary the protocols, the old men say, but this is the moral y buenas costumbres. And I say, no, this word you never need to say. And it's very difficult to different level. And in our faculty, all the scientific women accompanying to the student during the strike. And the decano allowed the movement, but I don't know what happened in other centers.
But let me make a comment to your question, because we started with these meetings only for women, and then we said, well, we should open them to everybody. I understand that sometimes when it's only women, the atmosphere, the openness, the emotions that go into the meeting is different, but it's also good to have men that are interested in that. So I don't know why you would like to have only women thing, but...
Comment on that also, perhaps this could be a small discussion after with someone who is interested, because I'm very interested in that, because we have this coletivo, we have this group in Physics Institute, where I am, and at Maceió, Universidad Federal de Alagoas. I'm a professor there, and the students try to organize, sometimes they do events for everybody, but they want to do for the girls that are coming a moment just for girls in physics, for the girls try to feel more comfortable to talk, and and this generated a discussion at the department with professors saying that you cannot do that during the week for newcomers because you are excluding the new guys. And I come with the discussion to the society, physics society, Brazilian society, and I ask that, and the answer is nobody knows how to deal with that, because you cannot close the door at the university. And we just try to do and not to promote that much, because if the guys decide to come, we could not put out, and it's quite complicated. I don't know what to do, and I would be happy to discuss more.
Hi, thank you for your talk. It was very interesting, and I'm from Chile too. And first, I wanted to comment on that same issue. We started last year with being very active in our meetings in the physics faculty in Pontificia Universidad Católica, and we wanted to do these separated meetings with just women. All of the men started to protest and say, why are you excluding us? What do you have against us? So we said, okay, you can go to listen, but we want to talk because this is the feminist movement and we want to do it ourselves. And then we went to this meeting, and suddenly when the questions started, all the people who wanted to have to be the first one to talk were the men. And then they were really violent. And they said, like, you have to do this, and your movement needs us to work, because without us, this has no point. And they started giving us instructions about what to do. It was really weird. And we told them, sorry, but you were invited to listen. And they said, no, but you don't know, because I was in politics, and I was I have a cargo, representative position. Yeah, so you don't know how this is done. I do. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to be left alone, just the women, not only because of that, but also because we were discussing harassment situation and abuse situations, and women didn't feel comfortable talking about this when there were men around, because the abusers would attend these meetings. Like, all the time. They knew who they were, we knew who they were, and they were there as if nothing had happened. So I think that is one of the main reasons why we need these safe spaces to talk and discuss and meet with each other. So yeah, I wanted to say something else, but before maybe then.
I would like to share an experience that we have in Universidade Federal do Rio de Janeiro. We have a coletivo, a feminist coletivo in physics, and we face the same problems, but we have some strategies. First one, the person who is leading the coletivo should be very diplomatic, because she would be able to listen to this and say, thank you for your contribution, honey, wait a little bit, and you now. And then they will talk. In the third meeting, they won't come anymore. And then we give them some assignments. So we say everybody who wants to attend the meetings should do something, some specific stuff, but we only give assignments to the men. So you should bring us food, you should bring us refreshments, and they, at the second meeting, they won't come anymore. Trust me. So we don't have to tell them they are not welcome, because we make them feel uncomfortable being there, like they always did with us. So it's a kind of a strategy.
Maybe I'm not the best person to talk about it, but I don't see, if someone knows better than me, what I am learning from Black feminism is that we don't want to talk to our oppressors, because we saw it yesterday. We can show data, but even data is going to be contested because they don't want to hear. So we don't want to waste our time asking for permission to be in places. We want to waste our time empowering. Definitely not wasted. Use our time with the girls, because those are the people we want to empower, and we want them to feel as they can do things and capable and able. So we want to have exclusive spaces for women, so then they can learn that they are valued. And I don't care if men think it's the first time they are experiencing the things we experienced our lives, our whole lives. You can't talk, you can't be there, you're not welcomed. So because they have the power, they will always complain, but we have to fight back and say, this is not your space. You have all the other spaces, and this is our spaces. So this is why I agree that we should have movements and courses only for women. That's my contribution. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so along these lines, in our experience from this group that organized these masterclasses, SPRACE is the name, São Paulo Research and Analysis Group. We have boys and men and girls in the group and women. So for the Women's Day, what we do is make it clear that this is an event for women, and for women, for girls, for girls in the beginning of their career, for senior scientists and everybody. And the men are very welcome to help. So they come and help us organize. So, they are here they can listen, they can help us to organize this, but they don't have a word. The girls, in the sense that, this is an event for women. And you see the difference, because when we have these discussions after, the event has lectures and has an exercise in the computer, as she mentioned this, tomorrow. And there is also a video conference with CERN. And then the girls can ask questions in general. And you see the difference. When we have this everybody's meeting, which is boys and girls, the girls are more shy. in this one, you see their flourish, and even it affected the other ones, because next year they probably come back and participate in the mixed audience event, and they started to talk and ask questions. So I think that's a nice model for now, just have them, but have them help, because they have a role there, to kind of amend what has usually been done that neglect women, but then they have a role to just help us to do and promote women. I think it works well.
Esqueci. Já lembrei. Eu participo do grupo das ladies que mencionaram antes. Também se eu falo em português? I speak in English, sorry. So I participate in the Our Ladies group in Rio de Janeiro. The code of conduct has a global structure, but then how we organize our own meetings depends on each chapter. So what we do in Rio is that our meetings must have only women presenting, but men are welcome to attend our meetings and our presentations only if they go with another lady, that they are accompanying, or a colleague or a girlfriend or something. And they can also, these are events to teach little tools in the language art, so they can learn as well, they can make questions and things like that. But the protagonism is feminine, right? We organize, we present, we decide what we want to talk about. And they can come along if they want.
Thank you.
I just would like to suggest in almost the way that our colleague said, which I agree very much. It's called "I Am No Longer Talking to White People About Race." It's from Renée Eddo-Lodge. It's a very well-prized book that talks about this kind of strategy that she mentioned.
Can you write them in the... Please.
I would like to. We have two men here. Can we ask them what they think?
Hi. So I just want to add that I was in some LGBT and also in a black collective. I don't know how to say this. And it's funny that men just want to go to this specific meeting when they are feminist. In the other case, they never want to appear. So it's clearly that they just wanted to invite this space specifically, and specifically because it's the only ones. If there are gays, they don't want to come. I don't know if the other lesbian girl agree with me, but...
Actually, this activity was open to everybody to apply, and we got mostly women. It was all organized by women, that's true. But I don't know. Okay, so I might talk a little bit about the IUPAP, but just a little because I've already talked. So is someone else? Good. Because if not, I was going to.
I just have a tiny comment. I don't mean to overstep here, but in the history introduction that you made, there was this period in Chile from the 73 where there was a COP, how is it called? COP d'État in French? Yeah, it's French. I don't know how to pronounce it. But after that, there was not a military government because it was a dictatorship where thousands of Chileans were exiled, tortured, and murdered by this military government. It's not a government, it's a dictatorship. So I just wanted to say that because I think that language matters. So it's important to say it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll just do a little thing, because short thing, and we go to lunch.